We're live. Okay, good Sunday. Welcome to another edition of Pinoyathletics Speed Talk. So today we're just going to be covering some news in regards to Pinoyathletics. So quite a lot of updates. Not much going on during the week, but when we came to the weekend, there's a lot going on. So basically gone from being a famine to a feast of new athletics news for this week so far. So the big news, or the main news and the athlete of the week so far, is Sheila Corrales-Nelson, who set a new Philippine national record in the women's hammer throw in the weekend at the Triton Invite at University of California in San Diego earlier today. So the mark of Sheila Corrales-Nelson, who is turning 20 later in the year, passes the old mark of Lorelie Simona, which was 50.55 meters. So Lorelie Simona, 2 times SEA Games bronze medalist in the hammer throw. The performance also puts Sheila Corrales-Nelson at number 2 in the Southeast Asian rankings for the women's hammer throw. So now Sheila Nelson has a collection of 5 Philippine records, adding the hammer throw women's record. She also has the junior hammer throw for women's, the shot put indoor for women's, the shot put junior women's, and the shot put junior indoor for women's. I'm just going to read a little bit of information in regards to the performance today, which was quite an outstanding performance from Sheila, who is the younger sister of former 200 and 400 meter national record holder Zion Corrales-Nelson, and currently studying at UC Riverside, which coincidentally is the same school which SEA Games record holder and 2015 SEA Games hammer throw men's champion Caleb Stewart also attended. Just reading some more information in regards to Sheila Corrales-Nelson's performance today. So the video, a brief video, is up on the Pinoyathletics website. So Sheila, who is turning 20 later this year, still has a lot of improvement ahead of her, considering that the throwers' prime is in their late 20s, early year 30s. Lorelie Simona, who was the previous record holder, was 29 years old when she set the Philippine record. It was an incredible weekend for Sheila, also throwing a 13:03 season's best placing for second place at the same meet at the Triton Invitational, improving on her 12:75 season's best. She's now closer to the SEA Games qualification in the shot put as well, which is 13.36 meters. So fantastic performance from a emerging new athlete. Probably a name to watch for in the years to come, and we're hopefully going to be able to have her on our show this coming week to discuss the future of the women's throwing events. Also, in action this weekend at the Miramar Invitational in Florida was Christina Knott, who ran 2 rounds of the 100 meters with identical times of 11.35, improving her season's best of 11.36. Knott set the Philippine 100 record last year with a time of 11.27. She needs 11.15 and 22.80 to qualify for the Olympics. There has been a lot of new women's 100-meter times, a lot of changing 100-meter times in regards to Olympic qualification this week. So I will be updating the standings or the list of qualifiers for the 100 meters over the next couple of days to see how that reflects. On last count, out of the 56 qualifiers, there was about 32 or 30 to 34 athletes under 11.15 last time I checked, so I'll have to be updating that list. So Christina Knott will be running next on April 24 at LSU in Louisiana. Next page. Also in the same race that Christina Knott was in, this is probably this competition that Christina Knott had at Miramar a few days ago. It's probably the fastest race that she's ever been in her life. The winner of the race was the top American athlete, Kayla Richardson, whose time of 10.72 is the fastest in the world so far in 2021. And it's also the 6th fastest women's 100-meter time of all time in athletic world history. So, Christina Knott made it through the heats with 11.35 into the final. She finished 8th in the final in 11.35, which was won with a superb time by Kayla Richardson of 10.72. Which would see Kayla Richardson really challenging the more older established sprinters, Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce, who's now 34 years of age, and reigning Olympic champion Elaine Thompson Herrera, the older 30-plus age. I believe that Kayla Richardson is about 19 or 20. I'm not exactly sure her age, but she's a young upcoming athlete who's looking to re-establish the dominance of the United States in the women's sprints after the Jamaicans have now taken the lead in recent years. So I don't believe that the women in the United States in the sprints has had a dominant sprinter since about the time of Carmelita Jetta. Okay, so more on that, and hopefully to see more from these young women in the next few weeks and months leading up to the Olympic Games. All right, another female athlete. So it's been a week really of good performances from female athletes in the Philippines in athletics. Robin Lauren Brown, the SEA Games bronze medalist in the 400 hurdles and the SEA Games bronze medalist, the anchor runner for the Philippine women's 4x4 at the 2019 SEA Games, who ran them all the way up from 4th to bronze medal on that anchor leg at the 2019 SEA Games. So Robin Lauren Brown finished 4th place behind 3 Brazilian national athletes at the I think it was the Frankston meet at Isuza. So Robin Brown had already established Southeast Asian leading times of 59.26 and 59.15 the last 2 weeks in the 400 hurdles. But this week she decided to take a break from the 400 hurdles and run a 400-meter flat. and she improved her best time by nearly a whole second, going from 56.47 to 55.55. Before, Robin Brown was not ranked on the top 10 all-time list for Philippine women in the 400 meters, but after running 55.55, she is now ranked 8th of all time on the Philippine all-time lists for women's 400. So it's good to see that Robin is still campaigning for the SEA Games and is in tip-top shape at this time of the year. And also, in the news, read in an article by Ed and Dyer, the return of 559, the dude, aka Kay Santos, announcing her possible return to the sport to veteran journalist Ed and Dyer. Kay needs to jump 6 meters 16 to qualify for the 2021 SEA Games. So the standard at one point was 6:45 to qualify for the SEA Games, which was a tough standard, but now it's come back down to 6:16 based off the bronze of the 2019 SEA Games. Kat Santos has jumped 640 meters twice in her prime. She's been out of the sport for 3 years. Just had a baby. 2000. She is the 2011 SEA Games bronze medalist in the long jump. She also attended the 2013, 2015, and 2017 SEA Games, picking up 4th place at these games. She's also the 2011, 2012, and 2015 100-meter national Philippine national champion. Now at 31 years of age, there's still plenty of time ahead as Stella Torres Sunang did her personal best at 35, and now she's 40. Due to the fact that Maristella is now 40, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious younger athletes coming up. Now is a good opportunity for Kay Santos to re-establish herself as the next promising Philippine women's long jumper. Move on to the next screen. So we did say that this is a week for women athletes having outstanding performances in athletics. And it was a week as well of where women's throwing records in the Southeast Asian region took a massive tumble. Starting up at the Malaysian Grand Prix over the weekend, Grace Wong Sumay, the 2017 SEA Games champion, through 62.48, breaking the Malaysian record and just 1 centimetre off the Southeast Asian record of Thailand. The 62.48 is a lot better. In fact, it's more than 3 meters better than her SEA Games winning throw of 59.14 back in 2017. So she lost the SEA Games title to the Thai Kim Srang, who threw 20, who won the 2019 SEA Games and established the Southeast Asian overall record of 62.49 meters. So the big challenge now comes between the two great rivals, Kim Srang of Thailand, the Southeast Asian record holder and the 2019 SEA Games champion, and Grace Wong Sumay, who's now just 1 centimetre behind her and the 2017 SEA Games champion, to see if Grace Wong at only 20 years of age can come back and reclaim the SEA Games title she won as a 17-year-old back in 2017. Also on the list of new records was Queenie Ting Kong Ni, who set a new Malaysian record of 48.53 meters in the discus throw, the 2019 Southeast Asian bronze medalist. Moving on to the next screen. So we have tentatively scheduled. We need to fully confirm this, but they weren't available last week, but this has been now rebooked for tomorrow. So we should be able to verify this, but this is at around lunchtime at 12 o'clock Philippine time. We will be looking at having on board Kayla and Kayla Richardson. So two of the country's top sprinters and the members of the national 4x1 record holders who took the silver at the last Southeast Asian Games. Kayla Richardson is also the 2015 SEA Games champion in the 100 meters and the silver medalist in the 200 at the 2015 SEA Games. Meanwhile, Kayla Richardson has started off with a brilliant season, lowering her personal best to 11:65. Coincidentally, now both Richardson sisters in the 100 meters both have an identical personal best of 11.65. So we'll update you tomorrow morning to see if meeting with the two Richardson sisters will be pushing through. We have sent a message, but it is very late in the US, so we're not entirely sure of the availability, but they have been asked, and they did say it was possible. So next, as well as that, we have another track talk. So you're going to get three track talks you're going to get track talks 3 days in a row. Today's track talk updates on news, Richardson sisters tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock Philippine time on the Tuesday, the 13th of April, we will be presenting Andrea Brayhoff, a Filipino-German IFBB Pro League bikini bodybuilding athlete, hosted by myself and the co-founder of Pinoyathletics, the Professor Ernel Talatala Abara. So the topics that will be discussed by Ms. Andrea Brayhoff will be from running to flexing, posing, insights in shifting sports disciplines. So she'll be sharing with us her experiences and journeys, shifting her skill set over to another sport, starting off with athletics, shifting over to women's bodybuilding. And finally, nearer towards the end of our program, announcing that our next event, Pinoy Athletics Batuan, held April the 24th for the 103,000 meters. Entries for Polysport, email pinoyathletics@gmail.com for entries. Deadline is April the 20th. So this isn't a virtual event, this is an event. And we have about 20 entries at the moment, 25 entries at this point for this small meet. And finally, I would like to leave with these thoughts at the end of the night. Since there was so much news to report, we haven't really had time to discuss training and coaching principles, which we hopefully will by this coming week when we have a bit more time on our hands. Small plans that work are better than big plans that never leave the runway. So when it comes to making plans and setting goals, I believe that the best thing to do is to set small, realistic plans rather than things that are just too ambitious and will never, push through. It's better to set small, easy plans, which, like sort of stepstone towards the bigger plans rather than rush to the bigger plans that are too ambitious and require more manpower than is currently available. All right, so that is pretty much it for tonight, and it's only been 18 minutes, but we'll take questions if there are any, and I'll just do some shout outs to round things up. All right, so shout outs to the following people tonight: Ali Lacario, Christopher Cordero, Periong, Virgie Sinkat, Coach Joanne Gismundo. Who else? Laika Jana, one of the two happiest girls in athletics in the Philippines. Fernando Popos, Coach York Tamayo, and Jenray Aparesi. So I'm just going to check to see if I've got any questions, and I'll move on with tonight's show. And we'll just roll with that, I think. Oh yeah, before I actually go, I just want to point in the directions that the Southeast Asian ranking lists are up on the website and will be available for viewing. I'm just checking to see if I have any questions tonight, and then I'm signing out. No, it doesn't seem to be. All right, that's cool. All right, so thanks everybody for tuning in. 20 minutes, no probs. Everybody, thanks for tuning in, and you all have a good night. Thank you.